This might be a terrible idea, but I'm about to make stained glass, but with resin. Stained resin, if you will. So I haven't done anything like this before. I haven't done regular stained glass before. I haven't even held a soldering iron in my hand before. And I'm just listening to myself right now. There might be a good reason why no one's done this with the resin. I mean, you can imagine heat and resin is going to melt, and I can see that. I see that. I'm not that naive. But I'm also thinking of what if it works? What if it works and then you don't have to cut glass, and then you don't have to grind glass, sand glass. You can have stained glass with resin, stained resin, if you will. We will work on that. But there's only one way to find out if this is going to work, and it is to actually do it. So cross your fingers, all of them for me, because I'm going to need it. Let's do this. Because I'm so optimistic about this working, I am going to be making these stained glass tea light holders. And I just got these templates off of Etsy. One is this icy one is this fire one, and I'm obsessed. Obviously, we will start with one. We might not get to the second one if it's a complete fail. I think I'm choosing this vibe. So essentially, what I need to do now is pour resin, a few different colors, just flat sheets of resin, and then I'm gonna cut these exact shards out. That's the plan. I think let's just focus one thing at a time for now. Pouring resin, that I can do. So I decided to keep the colors fairly simple for this project, mainly because the project in itself feels complicated enough. So I'm using 3 different shades of resin, which are all going to be made with Let's Resin epoxy resin, who are also the kind sponsors of today's video. And honestly, huge thank you to them, because without sponsors, I would not be able to spend my time doing wildly unnecessary experiments like this and pushing resin to places it probably never asked to go. So thank you, Let's Resin. I'm going to leave you guys with the links and discount codes in the description. Now for the colors, I'm obviously going with the same vibe. So I have like a white base with a hint of shimmery blue. Then I have a transparent blue with like these gorgeous flakes. And then I have this plain tinted transparent blue. While the resin cures, of course, it is time for Sky's appearance. Truly one of the most important stages of any project. And he was fast asleep, looking outrageously cute. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm absolutely obsessed when he gets like a little sleepy, like a little teddy bear sleepy eye face, you know, that head massage, getting him even sleepier. I mean, look at him. Like, how am I supposed to get any work done? Also, quite a few of you have mentioned while Sky receives so many virtual treats in the comments, some of you wanted to send him actual treats. So I have made and added a Happy Meal link in the description for Sky's treats and toys. Absolutely no obligation whatsoever. But if you'd like to spoil this tiny supervisor, the link is in there. Now that the resin is fully cured, it is time to move on to the next stage. Now I printed out a few more copies of this template because of course the plan now is to cut out all of these pieces of paper and then glue them on the relevant colors of resin so that I know exactly what I'm cutting. Essentially, I'm just attempting to be organized. A rare and unexpected development. Now for the cutting stage. Now I did think long and hard how I'm going to cut this, how I want. Obviously there's the bandsaw, which felt wildly over dramatic and I wouldn't get as much control because obviously these are small pieces. A jigsaw would have the same problem. Scissors were absolutely not going to work because this resin is too thick for that. So naturally I decided to get experimental. I teamed up with Hozo and I'm using their Neo blade, which is basically an ultrasonic cutter. Now, just to be clear, it is not specifically designed to cut resin. In fact, they probably wouldn't even approve of this if they saw my video, but it is designed to cut a whole bunch of material like plastic, wood, cardboard, you know, 3D printed stuff. So I just had a feeling resin might work. Slicing it through like butter, like actual butter. Also, this thing is unbelievably quiet, like suspiciously quiet. And I'm not used to that when it comes to tools, but maybe something to do with the fact that it's ultrasonic. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but it works and it is quiet because when I first switched it on, I was confused if it is actually on indeed, because it's literally silent. And the fact that I can actually casually cut resin shapes with it feels like dangerous information. Sorry, Hozo, I know this is probably not the intended use case, but I'm going to leave you guys with the link in the description if you want one of these for yourself. So now that we have our shards cut out, we are moving on to the second tool of this video. And I do love a tool heavy project, mainly because I love tools, in case somehow that didn't come across yet. It is time to sand these down, and I'm using the Let's Resin 3-in-1 sander. Honestly, this was the perfect little machine for this stage, because when I cut out the paper templates and stuck them on, they all had this black outline around the edge. So my plan is to simply hold each piece against the sander until it matches the line. Like, that's it. Like, just sand to the outline. And can I just say, so far this project, even though it is insanely ridiculous, is going suspiciously well. It feels deeply unlike me. I don't know how everything is working so well, just as intended. But I'm worried because the moment I acknowledge things are going well, this is usually when the chaos arrives. Now, once everything was sanded, I took the pieces down to the sink to wash them off, obviously to remove any sanding dust, but more importantly, to get rid of our paper templates that we glued on the top, because now we don't need them. And again, this was another easy process because literally you just wet the paper, and because we used the glue stick, it simply just peeled and washed right off. Again, easy peasy. Why is this project behaving itself? Okay, so we have our pieces and they are looking stunning. Next part is to place them and see if everything kind of fits into place like a puzzle. So let's do that. Let's put that there. Shut up, stop it, everything fits. That's the base. I don't know if I'm going to use the base or not, but we'll see. But the next steps are where it's completely uncharted territory for me. I have to go around all of these pieces and apply this copper tape to the edge of all of them, and that is technically what prevents the glass overheating when you actually do the soldering. And we know that we definitely need to prevent this resin overheating when we're soldering, because it's resin and it might melt, and we don't know what all is going to happen. So we definitely don't want this to melt. So I need to do that, and then I need to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to solder. Before anyone who actually knows what they're doing with stained glass watches this and faints, I am by no means claiming to be an expert on soldering and this entire process, to be honest. This is not a tutorial on that. This is just me adapting things. But essentially, to describe what I'm doing, I am peeling off the backing of this copper tape, placing each of our resin shards in the middle of the tape as sort of humanly possible, and then wrapping the tape all the way around the edge. After that, I fold over the excess on both sides, and I use this little tool that came with it to sort of like smooth everything down, press it in place, get rid of any bubbles, etc. So the goal here is simply just neat edges, good adhesion, and pretending I know exactly what I'm doing. Once all of my pieces are wrapped in the copper tape, I place them back on the template and added a little bit of like regular masking tape underneath just to hold everything in place, because the last thing I need is to have them sliding around while I'm actually trying to solder. And speaking of, this is the moment. This is the most nerve-wracking part of this entire project, and this could basically be the point where everything unravels spectacularly. Like, this could all go downhill from here. But based on many stained glass videos I watched in preparation for this, the next step is to apply something called flux. And as far as I understand, flux basically helps the solder stick to the metal, possibly. I don't know, maybe. I'm just trusting the internet on this one, and I'm going to brush on this mysterious liquid, and then apparently you just solder, like very casually, very normal, no pressure whatsoever. And you guys, it is happening. I'm doing it. And not only am I doing it, it is actually working. I mean, the resin isn't melting, it's not warping, it's not going like soft and weird. Everything is behaving exactly as it should, which quite frankly seems pretty unbelievable. I mean, I'm just sat here successfully melting metal on epoxy resin. Like, what? Like, how is this even happening? I know I'm being dramatic, but this genuinely kind of feels a bit revolutionary. Like, I am soldering a resin. Like, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. For real.
Guys, did I just solder resin? Like, I have not used this thing. Like, I swear to God, never used this. And that happened. That in itself, like, even if it was just glass, like that in itself, I am really proud of. It's not perfect by any means, God no. It's actually terrible. But we soldered resin, guys. I can't even. How I'm gonna put all of these pieces together, I don't know how this is gonna work out. For now, I'm just gonna celebrate this. We soldered resin. Like, let's just marinate in that a little bit. I am beyond chuffed. Okay, so once my initial shock and excitement wore off, I carried on with the rest of the pieces as if soldering resin is now just a completely normal thing to be doing, which apparently it was. I did, however, repeatedly make the same mistake. I started to solder and then it wouldn't stick and it was just being weird. And I was like, why is this happening? And then I realized I forgot the flux again. So the moment I brushed it on, everything worked perfectly. So from my highly professional personal experience, I can confirm that this mysterious liquid is actually really important. Like, I'm not questioning it. The internet said so, mainly YouTube said so. So yes, copper tape and flux essential. I trust them and you should too. Okay, that was satisfying. I have 4 soldered sides to our candle thing, and can I just say they are looking stunning. Ignore my soldering, but they are looking stunning. And guys, this is resin. I know I keep saying it, but this is insane. Now, how am I gonna get these walls together perfectly lined? And if I'm gonna add the base or if I'm just gonna leave it, that is still debatable. But for now, yay me. Sky, hi. Come. Look. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this part was tricky. Like, I had to hold the wall piece upright in position while also trying to solder it in place, which meant I was attempting a two-handed task with 2 hands already fully occupied. So logistically not ideal. And as I'm looking back at this, I'm asking myself, why didn't I use a little bit of common sense and glue down the piece first before soldering, because that would free up my hand and would be significantly easier. But no, I chose struggle. But if you were doing it, then do it the smarter way. That being said, I did manage it. Was it my neatest soldering? No. But then again, perfection is not what we're going for. Innovation is. And honestly, I still can't believe I am building a stained glass structure out of resin. And I do realize I have been incredibly annoying in this video about how dramatic I am being with all this, but honestly, this is my genuine level of excitement that I'm experiencing. So if I'm being a bit much, I can only apologize slightly because I simply cannot tone down my enthusiasm with what's happening right now. Once everything was sorted together and all of my shards had become this one cohesive tea light holder, I left it to cool down, which is again an obvious but important detail because melted metal is hot. And then I gave it a good wash, and guys, this is what we ended up with. I'm gonna say it again. Yes, I'm gonna be annoying and dramatic, but this is insane. It is stunning. Like, when you really think about what it is, like, it's a stained glass piece made from epoxy resin. It honestly feels kind of incredible because my brain is all over the place thinking about all the possibilities and just so many ideas that this opens up. Now, again, I have only tested this using using the Let's Resin epoxy resin. So I can't speak for every resin out there, but I can just tell you what happened here, and for me it worked beautifully and it genuinely looks like glass. I'm so glad with my color choices. I think they work perfectly well together and I love how it catches the light. But that being said, this is a tea light holder, so let's put a tea light in it. And that is so cute. I have to say though, I wish I had like a cool white tea light for this, because I feel like that would catch the white and the blues much better rather than this warm white. But that is just me being like nitpicky here. It looks stunning. The flickering, and like it is an actual tea light that I made with resin and molten metal. It's insane. I love it. And I feel like this is like honestly a reminder that if there's something you want to try, just do it. Like you don't have to be good at it on day one. As you can see, my soldering here is rubbish, but you just figure it out as you go. So if you want to give resin a go, get a starter kit, give it a go. You might surprise yourself. Also, I think it's safe to say that Sky approves of this as well. I mean, who wouldn't though? Soldering resin, terrible idea on paper, and I still can't believe it worked. Not only does it look like stained glass, but it actually looks really beautiful with all those like flakes catching the sunlight. Stunning. It's also leaving that sort of light effect with the reflection, and when you do actually put a tea light in it and light it up, I mean, that's a whole other vibe. Now, this was the ice one that I did. I also have a template for a flame candle situation. So let me know if I should complete the pair, because honestly, if this is ice, I feel like the flame's going to be something else. Honestly, mind blown. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I feel like this should be a series. Stained resin. I don't know. I need to work on the name. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye. Sky Cuckoo. Say bye. Say bye-bye. If you've enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you will like these two, so go check them out.